In this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to the buffered reader. This allows us to read or obtain information from the keyboard. At the conclusion of this lecture, you will understand how to use buffered reader, and you will be able to do your next homework assignment. You can refer to the supporting links for further information. I'm going to touch on this topic so you can get input from the user. We're going to use Java I/O buffered reader for user interaction, and we will cover this topic in more detail in a few weeks. Here's an example of reading an integer from the user, and this method will allow us to read one integer value from the user. Notice on line 55 where I am using the parse int function, and parse int will convert the string to an integer. Here is an example of how you can use this. So if I create a class called getUserAge, I am initializing my age and the number of days, and I have a do loop here, and I'm going to prompt the user to enter an age between 0 and 30. And you notice I have this OR statement on line 27. Now line 25, that's where I execute the method read integer from user and store the results of that in integer age. So once the user enters an age in the correct range, I'm going to multiply that by 365 and output that to the console. And the statement that I am using is in red, import Java I/O. So you want to put that above your class name so you can use the method that I'm going to provide for you. As far as your homework, quizzes, and tests go, you are more than welcome to copy any code that I provide for you into your programs. So I'm going to give you something similar to read integer from user, or maybe read float from user, or read string from user. So now you can just use this template that I provided for you in your code. Also, I'm referring to getUserAge.java over here. I will provide that example on Blackboard so you can download this and run the program for yourselves. Let's take a moment to look at the review questions here. And let's take a moment to look at the answers. To summarize, use Java I/O buffered reader to obtain character input from the user. You can copy the read integer from user method into all your programs as needed. And the parse int function allows you to convert a string to an integer. And this concludes our lecture. Thanks, and see you next time.